Сюжет, освободите! Так, уже где-то патчи. Оп!
Рая! Рая!
Скорую вызывай, быстро!
Рая! Рая!
Отойди! Тише, не мешайте просто. Скорую, давай, быстрее.
Да, звоню. Что говорить?
Бабы, вызывай, что говорить. Все, отошла. Запустил.
Лежим.
Лежи, сядьте сюда, чтобы не мешать. Серега, скажи, срочно. Да не то, что плохо.
Ваша жена?
Да моя жена.
Что случилось?
Чтоб все сдохли, да.
Из-за жары просто упала и
Да давку устроили, издевательство и давку. Вы же там сфотографировали, что там делается.
Женщина, правее возьмите, пожалуйста. Просили по-людски, что мы делаем?
Those waiting in the long lines at the overcrowded Stanica Luganskaya checkpoint have gotten used to inhumane treatment. There it is. The thousands of people you see are headed to the LNR. This entry and exit checkpoint is the only corridor linking Ukraine's government-controlled area to the unrecognized Lugansk People's Republic, and first of all, to the city of Lugansk, home of almost 500,000 people. After the bridge across the Seversky Donets River was blown up in 2015, the only way to cross line of contact is on foot. Getting there by car is practically impossible. The only free transport here is the hand carts of street vendors who move in the same line as pedestrians. Most of them pensioners, elderly people suffering from health issues. There are thousands of them huddled here every day, from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., standing for long hours in the suffocating crowd, permeated by frustration, pain, suffering and sense of humiliation.
Люди умирают, что творится здесь, а? Стоим уже по 5 часов.
Everything here is on the edge.
Сколько вы простояли сегодня, скажите, пожалуйста? Все проделали?
Больше 6 часов.
И 5, и 7, и 8 часов.
Ой, и 8 часов стояли. Сюда утром 6 часов.
Why are they here? What for? Some people's lives and families were split by the front line. Some were visiting relatives or getting treatment. But the most common reason is bureaucracy. Under Ukrainian law, these people cannot receive the pension they deserve at their place of residence in the non-government controlled area. This forces people to make pension tours on the Ukrainian side. And every 59 days, pensioners living beyond the line of demarcation are required to undergo personal identification. If they spend over 60 consecutive days in the non-government controlled area, they risk losing all their social benefits.
Для чего непонятно, никому непонятно. Мы эту пенсию заработали, отработав на Украине 30 лет и 40. И должны были заслужить возможность эту пенсию получать там, где мы живем, вне зависимости от политических взглядов.
And this is not the whole list of bureaucratic hurdles that make elderly people regularly pass through this bottleneck. Given the fact that over 400,000 pensioners live in the LPR, there is always a line at the checkpoint. Every day, from 10 to 12,000 people pass through this hell. The situation does not change in the summer heat, nor in the biting cold of winter. These hot August days, the air temperature rises far beyond 30 degrees Celsius. Here, every few minutes people faint, suffer heat strokes, get injured or collapse from a heart attack. The small town's ambulances simply unable to handle the sheer number of patients and the scale of their problems. It's hard to imagine what the fate of these people could have been if it weren't for the volunteers of this small medical center, which have been providing primary care in the very midst of this sea of suffering. The medical tent of International Medical Aid, a non-profit organization, came to the rescue of Stanica Luganska in July 2017. In the year of its operation, its volunteers have provided care to 15,000 people suffering in this terrible line. Every day there is only one doctor with experience of emergency care present at the tent. Alone, he is faced with dozens of severe cases. In a tent without air conditioning, with no help from nurses or other staff, and lacking appropriate medical equipment, the doctor is left alone with his patients in the heat of the sun or a freezing cold. I work in the ambulance, and when I have free time, we provide care at the checkpoint. I live here. I was working here during the hostilities. I saw how hard it is on people, how much the people are suffering. I want to help people as much as I can.
Очень тяжелый наплыв идет людей с утра.
There are so many people. Lines start at 6 a.m. Over 3,000 people are standing in the sun for 6-7 hours, and they just can't cope with it. I live here and see these things every day. I see people suffering, collapsing, fainting, and you can't just stand and watch. That's why we're here, giving people the care they need.
Поэтому мы здесь сидим, оказываем помощь.
The statistics of the Ukrainian State Border Service clearly show that the number of people crossing between the LNR and Ukraine's government-controlled area has been steadily growing since the active hostilities stopped. In August 2018, over 320,000 people crossed through the Stanica Luganska checkpoint. On August 21, 13,380 people crossed the checkpoint. A day later, it was a record 14,000. 30 people have fainted. Just today? Yes. We ran out of it completely. We only have 3 or 4 vials of dexamethasone. About 5 or 6 syringes left. For Sergei, a volunteer doctor who started his shift on August 22, it was a very long day. But this horror repeats here daily. As you're watching this video, somebody is being dragged out of the line having fainted, while someone is regaining their consciousness with the realization that their life just has been saved. Send this to the human rights. All you see now. What's the point? Everyone must see this horror. These old people dying. If you don't know what hell is, this is it. This is hell. Ask just one person from OSCE to go through this hell with us. An ambulance is called every 15 or 20 minutes. This line destroys people. Every year it claims lives, and every day it keeps growing. This cannot go on. However, until new checkpoints have been opened, only the volunteers of the international medical care are what stands between this deadly line and its victims. To continue their fight, they need your help. The organization's resources are running out. Every day, dozens of people at a checkpoint find themselves on the edge, on the verge of life and death.
На КППВ Станица Луганская.
A medical tent has been stationed at the Stanica Luganska checkpoint for over a year. We have provided emergency care to the over 17,000 people. The pressure on the doctors is tremendous. Every day there are 40-50 people treated here. Sometimes it goes up to 100, and the doctors don't have time to record the visits. To continue working, we need funds. We need a medical module of 30 square meters with the AC, with a refrigerator and the water cooler. We need a defibrillator. We need an electrocardiograph. We need more medications. Our budget is $79,000. This sum is enough to support our work for a year. After the procurement of all necessary equipment and facilities, we would need about 24,000 to cover salaries for doctors and nurses, medications and supplies. I would like to draw the attention of international organizations and international donors to our problems. Because without international donors, we will not be able to work. $79,000, a modest amount compared with the scale of the battle the doctors wage every day for the lives of people at this overcrowded patch of land. Support the volunteers of international medical care with even a small donation. This drop of good can turn into injection that will save a person from the clutches of this terrible line. Help them save those who stand on the edge every day.
Говорю, Порошенко надо привезти сюда.
И чтобы он с вами постоял в очереди?
Посмотрел.
А он выдержит, как вы думаете?
Конечно, нет.
Должно быть одно единое, целое, все. Должен быть построен мост. Все должно быть, как было раньше.
Но вообще войны не должно было быть.
Не
правда?
должно быть. Не должно.
Не должно бути війни. Не должно. І треба й забути за неї.